I'm here in northern Baja, Mexico, just a few miles from the U.S. border, and each month thousands of Mexicans move into this area looking for hope and a better life and trying to find work in the one of more than 550 foreign factories. They'll make between $10 and $15 a day, and eventually they'll grab some land that they can live on, but they don't really make enough with subsistence wages to be able to afford to build a proper shelter. And that's where Homes of Hope comes in. Homes of Hope comes alongside these families and provides an adequate shelter that they can immediately live in. Youth with a Mission, also known as YWAM, is an international, interdenominational Christian mission started in 1960. We have over 1,000 operating locations in 180 countries with more than 25,000 full-time staff worldwide. Homes of Hope was started in May of 1990 when myself and a few staff from YWAM Los Angeles came down to Tijuana, Mexico to do one house. During the second day of the build, my daughter Andrea, who was 3 1/2 at the time, introduced me to another family living next door in an old abandoned bus. She said, "Daddy, are you going to build a house for the bus people too?" That question filled me with compassion, and we came back and built them a house. Over that next year, we were able to do additional 12 homes for the poor, and it took us 10 years to do the first 1,000 homes, only 4 years to do the next 1,000, and with our plan in place, we hope to be able to do 1,000 homes every 2 years globally. Homes of Hope is now expanded to multiple nations all over the earth, and the foundation for Homes of Hope comes from Isaiah 58:7, and it says, "This is true religion. This is true fasting, to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter." Each year, we host over 5,000 participants in our Mission Adventures and Homes of Hope program, and we also train more than 200 students in our University of the Nations courses and seminars.
One of the most frequent questions we get asked is, how do you determine which family gets a home? We consider several factors when determining which families receive our help. One of the first factors we look at is their financial situation. What is their income level every month? The next factor we look at is their family size. We also do a site visit to determine if their current structure is in need of replacement. We sit down with each family and do a very extensive interview. After this process, we are able to come to a determination of which are truly the neediest families, and those are the families that get selected for a Home of Hope. You may be asking yourself, why does so much of the country look so unfinished? Imagine if you had to pay cash for everything you own, including your home. In Mexico, the poor cannot afford home loans, so they can only build a little bit at a time. It's easy to make false assumptions about somebody else's culture, so take the time to ask lots of questions. It's important to work hard to get the structure up, but it's also important to build a relationship with your building team and the family receiving the home. On each build, there's a translator dedicated to helping you connect with the family. The culture of Mexico is conservative, so please wear modest clothing. Smoking and drinking are prohibited at the job site, at the YWAM Center, and in the YWAM vehicles. YWAM is not responsible for lost, stolen, or damaged personal items, so please use good judgment when bringing valuables to the build site. Don't forget to bring your sunscreen, a long-sleeve shirt, and a hat for shade. Over the course of a long day on the job site, you could experience a variety of weather, so we recommend bringing layers of clothing. YWAM will provide clean drinking water and lunch every day on the site. Porta potties are also provided for you. Safety is always our #1 priority, especially on the job site. Remember to be safe and look out for others around you. Safety glasses are provided for everyone, and it's very important to wear them on the job site. No one under the age of 16 is allowed to use the power tools without adult supervision. No one under the age of 12 is allowed on the roof. When working on the roof, make sure tools, ladders, or electrical equipment are secured. Your elected safety manager is responsible for overall safety at the build site. Look for the bright yellow safety jacket. In case of emergency, see your building foreman or elected safety manager for information to get to the nearest hospital. Emergency instructions are always kept on site. You'll find lots of stray dogs and cats in Mexico, and for your safety, we ask that you don't feed or play with the animals. By the time you get to the job site, the house's concrete foundation will already be laid, dried, and ready to support the structure. Before we begin building, we'll take a moment to say a group prayer for safety and to bless the house for the family. We provide all the tools and supplies you'll need to complete the house, along with a Homes of Hope build team, including an A builder, B builder, host, and translator to guide you along the way. The A builder will break you up into various teams at the start of the building process. A generator powers electricity while on the build site. You'll find a large toolbox with protective gloves, hammers, nail aprons, extension cords, a handsaw, and handheld power tools. For small tools like pencils, box cutters, extra safety glasses, speed squares, and a hammer stapler, look in the small utility box. Before swinging your hammer, make sure you use the right kind of nail for the job you're doing. In the paint box, you'll find roller handles, paint pans, paint brushes, caulking for the windows, and rags to use for cleanup. The team will be led up by your A builder. The walls are framed and assembled on top of the concrete slab using 2x4s. Each home will be wired throughout for electricity and will include 3 windows and a door. Sheetrock, otherwise known as drywall, is installed as the interior wall. Be careful when pounding nails into the soft drywall, as it can easily break or dent. There's a right and a wrong way your finished nails should look. Trusses are used to support the roof. The roof team will be led by your B builder. Roof sheeting has no grooves and should be painted on the smooth side. Once the roof sheeting has been installed, nail down a layer of roofing paper and finish off the roof with the 3-tab shingles. Typically, each house is painted in 2 or 3 different colors. The paint crew will be led by one of our YWAM staff, and they will verify that each piece is being painted the correct color. Upon completion of the new home, the keys will be passed around the circle during a house dedication ceremony. Each person will have an opportunity to share their experience with the group and the family before they enter the home for the first time.
The house you're about to build is going to bring real transformation into this family's life in 5 key areas. The first is economic. It would take this family up to 10 years to replicate what you're giving them in just these couple of days. The second area is education. Children who come back to a home are better learners, and they're 3 times more likely to stay in school and go 2 years longer. The third area is health. Just by putting in a concrete floor, you reduce recurring respiratory problems, anemia, and diarrhea, and provide better health for the family. The fourth area is transformed thinking. Part of poverty is an inability to properly perceive your own future. And when you give a family a home, it helps break the cycle of poverty in 1 generation over that family's life. The fifth area of benefit is spiritual impact. We love to demonstrate the love of God to every family that gets a home. We want them to know God loves them and has a wonderful plan for their life. In the early years of Homes of Hope, somebody introduced me to the starfish story, and it kind of stuck in our culture. And the story goes like this. During a large storm, thousands of starfish were washed high up onto the beach with no way to get back in the water. Well, a young boy saw this circumstance and started throwing the starfish back in the water one at a time. Somebody came up and asked the young boy, "What are you doing? You're never going to get all these starfish back in the water." And the young boy picked up another starfish, threw it back in the water, and said, "I made a difference to that one." And that's how I feel about poverty and Homes of Hope. We're not going to be able to help every family that needs a home, but I want to assure you that the family you're helping over the next few days will matter. And I want to thank you for coming and joining us and making a difference, one family at a time.